This is the beginning of a big change in your life, from being someone in a training position to someone who's going to accept much more responsibility.
In order to prepare for a consultant job, there are lots of things that you don't necessarily think of as a trainee that you can get more experience of. So dealing with management, it might not be the most exciting thing, but you are going to have to do it.
A big tip I give to people starting out as a consultant is actually, you've got plenty of time. You don't need to do everything straight away.
Get your feet under the table, as it were. Do simple things to begin with, do them well, and everyone will be on your side.
When you're a trainee, you are on a contract to work 9 to 5 every day of the week, and then suddenly you are thrown into this consultant job, which is great. And in people's training, and certainly in my training, consultants don't talk to the trainees about what goes into consultant job planning and about the consultant contract.
One is very sheltered from what being a consultant actually is. It's not about seeing patients and operating. That's just half of the job.
But you're also going to be asked to be a trainer and a teacher and a mentor and an assessor and maybe a researcher, maybe an examiner.
Generally, we've been so focused on getting the clinical bit right that we might not think about the other skills that you need to run your life and to run your practice.
When applying for a consultant post, I think one of the most important things to consider is whether the job description has been approved by the college. And that will look at the balance of the job description, how much of the timetable is direct clinical care, how much SPA time there is in the timetable. And if the job's been approved, then the trust is able to use the college logo on the advertisement.
The thing to remember is, as a trainee, you can apply for your first consultant job within the last 6 months of your training period. You cannot actually take up a substantive post until you're on the specialist register, and it's important that you do apply in good time. It's quite a long process, and if after all that you still have to apply for your certificate even when that's passed, if you haven't applied within the first year, then you don't get a certificate and you don't go on the specialist register.
I'm blessed with a loving wife and two gorgeous kids, and my world revolves around them. And obviously my world revolves around my patients as well, but that balance is so important. And it's very tempting to fit in an extra meeting after your operating list or after your clinic, or seeing one extra patient, doing one extra list, helping someone out with another case. And I try and finish everything off by sort of 5:30, get home for 6, and that's it, and try not to take work home with me.
I think it's a difficult thing, but you have to find what your boundaries are and stick with them. It's easy to relax them later, but not easy to bring them back. So I think if you start off with, these are my boundaries, this is when I want to be at a certain thing, then that's fine. And one person's priorities don't out-prioritise somebody else's, so everybody has different things that make them tick, and whether that's that you want to get home to see your children, or whether it's that you want to do a yoga class or volunteer at something, it's important that everyone's priorities are respected.
Starting a new consultant post is always quite a difficult time. I actually found the clinical bit fairly straightforward. It's the organising everything else and being part of a team and building relationships with staff members that you might be working with for decades.
And it's about thinking about all the people that you interact with and trying to think about how they would perceive you and giving off the right vibes.
All of the ways that we deliver care to patients now is really done through a team approach. And I think that maximises the benefits for patients. The decision making is often done through a multidisciplinary team, and you will be an integral and perhaps pivotal part of that team. But you need to listen to and appreciate the views of all of those other experienced clinicians that are at that meeting. I think you need to be prepared to talk to your colleagues and get their help and assistance. You need to be prepared to talk to people around you, and that will help you get through those early months and years.
It's very important that you don't work in isolation. And I don't just mean have a team around you, because obviously you do, but other people outside that support you, be it your partner, your family, or mentors.
The college certainly would advise that there should be a mentor available for newly appointed consultants, and that is part of the college approval process, that there should be that in place. And the college itself has a support service if there isn't suitable local support for newly appointed consultants.
And often with most specialties, there are networks, and there are people in adjacent hospitals, adjacent trusts who may be able to come and help you. And I think it always is worth looking at that. And if it means delaying a case, if it's not an urgent case, then that's the thing to do, to make sure you've got somebody available or with you who can support you through something that you don't feel happy with.